Welcome back everyone, and today we're going to go through the improvements and some disimprovements, but not many, of the Nikon Z50, because I think you should know about these things. Let's have a look. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the features on this, and let's start with the things that I don't like, because there's not many, but I just feel like we should get them out there really. So they got rid of the U1 and U2 compared to the Z50, and I used to like that, well I do like that, in the fact that I can have normal video on the one, slow-mo on the other, and actually it makes it really easy to switch between. It's not a deal breaker on this because I'm not using this in the commercial environment, so I can afford to take my time to get the setting that I want, but it's just something that's missing. The other thing is cables coming out the side. They sort of block the view when you're in selfie sort of mode, so you can see it coming out there. Not the end of the world. You know, someone did suggest on the last video that you could have a right angle cable coming out there, take up less real estate. They're quite right, thank you very much. But yes, it is just something worth noting. I've got this cable in at the moment because I'm going to record the screen so you can see what's going on when I talk about some menu options later on. And the last little thing, there's no support yet for Adobe Lightroom. Not the deal breaker, they'll get there. The only program that I found that does work is Adobe, nearly said Adobe Lumiere, Lumiere AI. That's a great little piece of software, reads it perfectly. Obviously I can use the Nikon software and transfer it across if I want to. I haven't been that bothered, to be fair, at the moment. I'm just storing all the stuff, waiting, ready for when it does finally support it, which won't be too long, another week maybe, fingers crossed, we'll see. Let's get on to the things that I really like about this camera that they've changed over the Z50. And the most obvious one is the flip screen. And yeah, I can see every angle, but the other thing that I really like about it is that I can turn it round and have it totally covered. Brilliant, love it, don't scratch it, I feel safe with it in my bag, and yeah, it's a great feature that I hope to see more of on the other cameras as they go. USB-C power, that's fantastic. I say fantastic, I would love it on the Z50 if it did that, because we use it in a commercial environment. Even though it's not a commercial camera per se, we do use it because it's small, it's lightweight, it's great on a gimbal, it's just a workhorse. And it'd be great if it was powered by that. I think it's probably a software thing. I think they've probably disabled it for the fact that they want you to buy the Z5 and everything else. We've got Z5s, we've got Z6s, it doesn't matter. It's just a really nice, small, compact camera. And I wish they powered it via USB as well. You can charge via USB on the Z50, you just can't operate and charge at the same time, which is a shame. The other thing that I really like is CPU lenses. I use, or non-CPU lenses should I say, I use manual lenses. They're like £25 for a 1.8, 25 or 50 or whatever, and they're great, but the trouble is they don't talk to the camera. So when I get back and I look at my images, I don't know which lens it was took with. What they've added now into the menu system, if we go into here and have a look, is we now have an option, non-CPU lens data, and I can set different profiles. I've only got two lenses for this in the Z mount. One's a 50, one's a 25, both 1.8, brilliant lenses. Now I do need to select which one of these it writes the data to the file with. So I either select one or two depending which I'm working with, and that writes it into the data, the EXIF data, so that when I get back I can look and see that. So a little bit of a hardship in that I've got to manually do it, but it's not talking, it's not got electronics in the camera for that, in the lens, sorry, for that. Next thing that they've done is, although they've got rid of the U1 and U2 for saving settings, they have enabled you now, if we're going to find the menu option, to save load menu settings. Now, not really a big deal on this camera, but we use it normally in work because we've all got our own preferences of how we like a camera setup. I just want to go to a camera and know that it works. If I take my memory card with me, I can just load those settings up and away I go. So it's a really great feature. I'm not sharing this camera with anyone, so probably a little bit lost on here. Wish they would enable it on the Z50 because that would make a big difference, that I could transfer the settings across, and especially when I've had to send one back for repair or anything else, obviously it gets wiped, I've got to reset it all back up when it comes back. I like the fact I can save settings. So well done for doing it on this. Go back and do it on the Z50 please, Nikon. Go on, please. They've added animal autofocus. Wasn't on the Z50. Doesn't really bother us, we don't deal with animals with the Z50 anyway. This I might do actually, because I use this at home, I use it everywhere, and it's nice to have that feature. I do have to select whether it's an animal or a person. Obviously we've got different faces, it saves on processing power, not having to distinguish between the two. I'm sure in the future they might decide to auto do that, that's an option, but at the moment I like the fact I've got the choice. Thanks Nikon. Okay, the last one, and this is the main one that I absolutely adore, and I'm so glad that they've put it in here, and wish they would do it on every Nikon camera. Come on guys. And that is save points by orientation. So what's that do? So if I put this into photo mode, I've got my focus point in the center there. I'm going to move it up to the top here. If I rotate to portrait, it's moved to there because that's the last place I put it. If I then move that up and then move it back into landscape, you can see that it moves the point to where it last was in that orientation. That is amazing. When I'm doing portraits, I will switch between landscape and portrait with the camera, as you do. Not having to move that focus point each time quite a distance saves time, increases productivity on the shoot. Just your model isn't waiting, or your person that you're taking a photograph isn't waiting for you. I've just got to compose, just hold on, we're almost there. It's just natural, bang, you're done with the shots. I do that all the time, especially when I'm taking portraits in the studio. I will switch between the two. Street photography, exactly the same. If I'm doing that out there, I'll try different styles. It just makes a difference. That should be put into every firmware that Nikon's got. It might be that the other cameras don't have a gyroscope in to tell when it's been turned, and that's why it hasn't. I don't know, but brilliant little feature. Thanks for putting that in, Nikon. So that is all the features that I found. There might be some more. If there are, put them in the comments down below. I've just missed them. But they're the ones that I really, really like. I did go through the menu system and see what has changed, but I was looking for stuff that I fancied, to be fair. Like and subscribe, really appreciate it. It'd be great to see you on as we go through some of more of this kit. And thank you for joining in. I'll see you on the next one.